Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
There once lived a farmer and his wife in Denmark. They had a very good farm, but they did not have any children. They were often sad because they had no child to give all their money to. They became richer and richer, but they still had no one to leave their farm to. One year they had a pretty little bull calf. They called him Peter. Peter was the nicest little animal they had ever seen. He was very beautiful and very smart. He understood everything people said to him. He was also very gentle and loved to play. The farmer and his wife loved him as if he were their own child. One day the farmer said to his wife, "I wonder if our church helper can teach Peter to talk. If he can, we can adopt Peter as our son and give him everything we have." "I don't know," said his wife. "Our church helper is very smart and knows a lot. I almost believe he can teach Peter to talk because Peter is also very smart. Maybe you should at least ask him." So the farmer went to the church helper and asked him if he could teach Peter, the bull calf, to talk. The farmer wanted Peter to be their heir and get everything they had. The church helper was a clever man. He looked around to make sure no one could hear them. Then he said, "Oh yes, I can do that. But you must not tell anyone. It must be a secret, and the priest must not know, or I will get in trouble because it is not allowed. It will also cost some money because we need very expensive books." The farmer said that was okay. He didn't care how much it cost. The church helper could have $100 to start with to buy the books. He also promised not to tell anyone and to bring the bull calf in the evening. The farmer gave the church helper the $100 right away. In the evening, he took Peter to the church helper, and the church helper promised to do his best. After 1 week, the farmer went back to the church helper to ask about Peter and see how he was doing. But the church helper said that the farmer could not see Peter because then Peter would miss him and forget everything he had already learned. Peter was learning well, but they needed another $100 for more books. The farmer had the money with him, so he gave it to the church helper and went home with high hopes. After another week, the farmer came back to see what Peter had learned. "He is doing very well," said the church helper. "I guess he can't say anything yet?" asked the farmer. "Oh yes," said the church helper. "He can say moo now. Do you think he will learn more?" asked the farmer. "Oh yes," said the church helper. "But I need another $100 for more books. Peter can't learn well with the books he has now." Well, said the farmer. "I will pay what I need to pay." So the farmer gave the church helper the third $100 for more books and a big container of good old ale for Peter. The church helper drank the ale himself and gave Peter milk, which he thought would be better for him. Some weeks passed, and the farmer did not come to ask about Peter because he was afraid it might cost him another $100. He was starting to feel uncomfortable about spending so much money. During this time, the church helper decided that the calf was as fat as it could be, so he killed it. After he had hidden all the beef, he put on his black clothes and went to the farmer's house. As soon as he arrived, he said, "Good day. Has Peter come home here?" "No, he hasn't," said the farmer. "He didn't run away, did he?" "I hope not," said the church helper. "After all the hard work I did to teach him and all the money I spent on him, I even had to spend $100 of my own money to buy books for him to learn so much. Now he can say anything he wants, and today he said that he really wanted to see his parents again. I wanted to let him visit you, but I was worried he might not find his way here by himself, so I got ready to come with him. When we went outside, I remembered I had left my stick inside, so I went back in to get it. When I came out again, Peter had already gone on his own. I thought he would be here, and if he isn't, I don't know where he is." The farmer and his wife started to cry because Peter had run away just when they were going to have so much happiness with him, and after they had spent so much money on his education. The worst part was that now they had no heir at all. The church helper tried to comfort them as best as he could. He was also very upset that Peter had behaved this way, just when the church helper could have been proud of his student. Maybe Peter had only gotten lost, and the church helper said he would make an announcement in church next Sunday to see if anyone had seen him. Then he said goodbye, and went home and ate a nice meal of roast veal. One day, the church helper was reading a newspaper and saw a story about a new merchant who had moved to a town far away, and his name was Peter Bull. He put the newspaper in his pocket and went to the sad couple who had lost their heir. He read the story to them and said, "I wonder if that could be your bull calf, Peter?" "Yes, of course it is," said the farmer. "Who else could it be?" His wife then said, "You must go and find him because it is definitely him. Take a lot of money with you, too, because who knows, he may need some money now that he is a merchant." The next day, the farmer put a bag of money on his back, a sandwich in his pocket, and his pipe in his mouth, and he started his journey to the town where the new merchant lived. It was a long journey, and he traveled for many days before he finally arrived there. He reached the town one morning just at sunrise, found the right place, and asked if the merchant was at home. "Yes, he is," said the people, "but he is not awake yet." "That doesn't matter," said the farmer, "because I am his father. Just show me to his bedroom." He was shown to the room, and as soon as he entered and saw the merchant, he knew it was Peter right away. Peter had the same wide forehead, the same thick neck, and the same red hair, but in other ways he looked like a human. The farmer rushed up to him and grabbed him tightly. "Oh, Peter," he said, "you have made us so sad, both your mother and me, by running away like this just when we had taught you so much. Get up now so I can see you properly and talk to you." The merchant thought a crazy person had come into his room, so he decided to stay calm. "All right," he said, "I will do it right away." He got out of bed and quickly started to get dressed. "Yes," said the farmer, "now I can see how smart our church helper is. He has done well with you because now you look just like a human being. If someone didn't know, they would never think you were the little bull calf we got from the red cow. Will you come home with me now?" "No," said the merchant. "I don't have time right now. I have a big business to take care of." "You could have the farm right now, you know," said the farmer, "and we old people would stop working. But if you want to stay in business, of course, you can do that. Do you need anything?" "Oh, yes," said the merchant. "I need money more than anything. A merchant always needs money." "I believe that," said the farmer, "because you had nothing at all when you started. I brought some money with me for that reason." With that, he emptied his bag of money onto the table, covering it with bright dollars. When the merchant saw what kind of man he was dealing with, he started to speak nicely to him and invited him to stay for a few days so they could talk more. "Very well," said the farmer, "but you must call me father." "I don't have any parents alive," said Peter Bull. "I know that," said the farmer. "Your real father was sold in Hamburg last fall, and your real mother died when she was having a calf in the spring. But my wife and I have adopted you as our own, and you are our only heir, so you must call me father." Peter Bull was happy to do this, and they decided that he would keep the money. The farmer wrote his will and left everything he owned to Peter Bull. Then he went home to his wife and told her the whole story. She was very happy to hear that it was true about Peter Bull and that he was really their own bull calf. "You must go at once and tell the church helper," she said, "and pay him the $100 of his own money that he spent on our son. He has earned them well, and more besides, for all the joy he has given us by giving us such a son and heir." The farmer agreed with her, thanked the church helper for everything he had done, and gave him $200. Then he sold the farm and moved with his wife to the town where their dear son and heir was living. They gave him all their wealth and lived with him until they died.